We need an intro.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel.
Welcome to my channel. So this is episode 3. It could be 1. It could be 0.5.
It could be negative something. Like, we actually don't know if we're gonna post this. So if you're watching this, then this video made it.
If you're watching this, it's too late.
It's too late. Yeah. Which also kind of means that we thought that the stuff in this video is kosher enough for you to watch. So imagine the shit you haven't watched yet.
There's gonna be a lot of behind the scenes stuff later on when we're, I guess, when it's been late enough for people to forget. Like,
Yeah.
me, some controversial topics of a story that was there, maybe like a year or two ago. Yeah.
The reception is always a little less emotional
Yeah.
than right after the topic.
Happy New Year, by the way. It's
Speaking of which, Happy New Year. Speaking of which, we have a lot of emotional topics to go over today.
emotional.
But,
Yeah.
well, okay, not emotional per se, but controversial enough that they're going to trigger someone's emotions somewhere.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. But before we get there, I just wanted us to, do a short intro and talk about anything interesting that happened in our individual weeks.
Anything interesting that happened? Well, I don't know. I feel like there's that story I just told you.
I don't know if the camera is ready for that.
I'm not gonna give details, but then, like, ladies, you know, on the first day there's some boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to see everything. There's, like, you know, when you think about it, there's things a guy should never see a girl doing.
Like taking a shit.
I don't want to get that specific, but
No, I mean,
that
well,
that's a hint.
think about it. I don't know. I don't know how many guys are gonna side with me on this, but I feel like as intimate as you get with a girl, the very first time she does certain things, because it is this weird sense in your mind, like you think a girl farts rainbows, and
Here's the thing.
shit's gold, but
For me, the female organs are there for my pleasure. They don't do anything else. I know everybody pees, but I don't have to see.
you don't want to experience it or witness it. Yeah, so the most interesting thing you saw this week was that you experienced a woman going through her natural processes.
That's a very interesting way to put it.
And it felt very unnatural to
It's not
you.
very unnatural. It changed the way I saw her, to be quite honest. I don't know. It's like, I'm not doing doggy style with that again. Because, like, looking at something.
See how
I
the
saw
sausage
the,
is
I'm looking
made.
at the abyss. Exactly.
Have you ever seen how a sausage is made? It's like they get all the rejects of the cow's body, like hooves,
Tail.
the tail, like all the worst shit, and they put it in there. And then someone like just, they grind it up and then they mush it up, and you're like, oh my god, that sausage looks delicious. But like, if you knew where all of the ingredients came from, you'd never eat another sausage in your life.
If you've gone down the YouTube rabbit hole, you'll find some weird recipes or videos in, like, different languages, like Indonesian or something being recommended to you.
Yeah.
But then the thumbnail has some words in English, like, for extra shock value. So I was seeing a recipe on a food channel for cow vagina. Isn't it? That's a thing. Now, if you go to incognito and Google that, you will see that actually that's a recipe.
There's like a way to cook cow vagina.
Cow vagina.
It's extra sweet.
And here's the crazy part, one ironic part of it,
Yeah.
is the fact that it's a wet fry.
And you mean it to all the jokes?
Oh my goodness, I'm never going to think about wet fries. If you go to a restaurant, someone is like,
You want a wet fry vagina? I was like, what? No. Cow vagina, bro. Cow vagina.
yeah, man, who got it wet though? Anyway. So here's the crazy part about the recipe.
Yeah.
They spent like an hour shaving it. This is like a girl would do.
Oh my god.
She's about to be
Like the whole waxing thing, yeah.
girl's about to be eaten. She was.
Yeah, you gotta clean the...
It's funny that there's parallels even when it comes to cooking cow vagina. So
Exactly.
I don't think I'll be able to eat it, to be honest. Even though if you, I don't know. What's crazy? Would you eat that?
Would I eat cow vagina? I think the sexual parallels definitely make it a little more uncomfortable for me. If I was eating, say, I don't know, like a regular thigh or something.
Think about it. If you're eating a thigh, it's kind of just like the foreplay. Like, why don't you just eat that?
Well, vagina. That could be a marketing angle, but it would not convince me because I mean, I've always felt weird eating certain parts of animals anyway, if I'm being honest.
Like which ones in particular?
Like the tongue has never really done it for me. People love to eat tongue. Like
Try
a goat just got slaughtered and they, the tongue or the cow tongue, you go into like a supu place and they make you supu with tongue.
But what I like about it though,
it's like, I can't imagine eating a tongue.
what I like about it though is like the whole efficiency of it, like nothing goes to waste, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I was watching this show that had some really like high-end cooks, what were they called, chefs. Well, there's like culinary arts. That's actually legit what it was. They're like, there's this one particular one. He was like, I want to show the world that you can actually make good tasting food with the rejects of the animal. So it will cook pig snout. It will cook like the tail.
Balls.
But why would you cook a pig snout though? Like that thing has smelled so many things.
Or chicken feet.
Yeah, chicken feet. I've seen it.
I think chicken feet are just as bad as pig snout. And here's the thing: you ever eat chicken nuggets?
I think I've
Chicken feet, chicken beaks. Think about every single part of a chicken you wouldn't eat.
But isn't the
It gets
chicken butt
ground up and goes into a chicken nugget?
the chicken butt? I don't know. There's this African thing where that thing on the
Yeah. But chicken butts are eaten by people, right?
that's the I asked you about a T-shirt.
With
Chicken-
my family, where like you growing up,
Pass the chicken butt.
not even that. Not even that. Like they cook chicken, then everyone else went and served, and then you go serve last, and you're like, they left you the chicken, but you're like, what the fuck? You guys just associate me with
You guys,
exactly. Well, I guess we put it as eating ass.
yeah.
But like chicken butts are quite common in. I don't know if that's a reject, but chicken feet and beaks, the whole head practically. Yeah, so those ones go into chicken nuggets. But anyway, I guess that's part of like the crazy stuff. But also generally, what are your New Year's resolutions, if you have any?
Don't have any New Year's resolutions at the moment. I think the whole concept of making resolutions, when you fail enough times, it becomes redundant, and then it even becomes depressing thinking about you.
Every year, you're like, I made these last year. I didn't fulfill any one of them. What's the point of making new ones?
I think it's part of this whole culture of toxic positivity. You're like going through shit, but then you're like, it's great. Things are getting better. And
You need to change your
new resolutions, but in the long run, they actually make you more depressed about yourself because you have a long list of resolutions from years past.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, I'm such a shit person. I never get them done. And then the pressure like becomes even more because you're like, the pressure of the past years as well, the resolutions, stuff like that. So for me, that's the reason why I don't believe in resolutions. But in terms of just general goals, I think it's important to have goals.
So you have some long-running goals, I'm guessing.
Goals, exactly.
Like you had for a while.
Yeah, but the biggest thing for me this year is probably going to be just, I guess, mastering myself a little bit more. Mastering myself in terms of finances.
It's that like stoic stuff.
Very
right?
stoic, yeah. Because you know, you always start with like, I want X amount of money by the end of the year. I want like this possession, this stuff.
Yeah.
But really, if you think about it, like if you were to, you know, in like anime, there's this like progression where you go and train.
The character arc,
the character arc,
journey, you go struggles and stuff. You know, like the Last Airbender or anything.
Exactly. But think about it. If you could skip to the end of the character arc where you were like this ultimate superhero or something like that. So if you have resolutions like I want to get a car this year, sure, you can struggle, you can get it, and then next year you'll be I want to get a house.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you still haven't focused on mastering yourself.
Yeah.
The person who has self-discipline, financial discipline, what can't they do? Like that and time management, those three things I feel like you can accomplish.
I remember reading something about it, and basically the gist of it was that a lot of the time as human beings we talk about freedom and like the freedom to choose our destiny and to do whatever we want. But the way people romanticize the concept of freedom is that it is a world of zero constraints. And yet, like, if you look at Stoic philosophy and a lot of like other teachings around the same subject, the way it works is that if you have immense self-discipline so that you can constrain yourself, then you find yourself having more freedom. Because in essence, in order not to be a slave to others, you have to be a slave to yourself. If you, for example, have a tight schedule that you follow to the letter, then no one else can control your time. If you have certain principles that you never break, then no one else can control you in as far as those principles are concerned. Like no one can use that shit to manipulate you. Yeah. But a lot of people think freedom is just a world where you do whatever you want, whenever you want, and there is absolutely no restraint.
It's basically anarchy.
Exactly. But anarchy and freedom are not exactly the same, right? So that's the problem with the way most people view this topic. And I think that self-discipline is something important to have, because if you can control yourself fully, like you're saying, self-mastery, in essence, you are restricting yourself. You are punishing yourself before the world punishes you. And so you find it easier to deal with the world.
There it is. So that's the path I'm on this year. What about you? What do you have? Do you have any resolutions, first of all, or do you not believe in that either?
I believe in resolutions. I just don't know if I believe in New Year resolutions. Like, I don't think there should be a specific ceremonial time when you just, like, everybody's just circle jerking.
Yeah.
Like, New Year. This is the time when we say the things we will do for the next 365 days,
It's almost like caveman group thing. Like, is it New Year?
We made it one trip around the sun. Let's go.
Makes no sense, actually.
Doesn't. It really doesn't. So, like, but I believe you can make a resolution at any given time. You can make a resolution on your birthday, which, for all intents and purposes, is a more believable New Year.
That makes sense.
And then whatever happens on the 31st, you can make goals. You can wake up tomorrow and decide to change your life and just keep going.
Here's what's crazy about the whole idea of New Year's resolutions. Like in the New Year, there's all this cycle, like New Year, new me. But then, funny enough, in the build-up to New Year, people do make the worst decisions. Like, go out, waste a bunch of money, all sorts of crazy stuff during the whole.
Exactly.
It's like you're finishing with an emphasis on your bad habits that you want to leave behind.
Yeah.
And then going into the New Year with this illusion that, I just woke up and we're going to change.
But now you're left with, like, you haven't paid your rent, you've got debts. Like, as you decide to change your life, I just want you to remember you haven't paid your rent. Because you blew a bunch of money in December. So,
New Year, new rent.
But same old debts, bro. But anyway, so today, basically, thanks to the good efforts of Trevor, who I don't know what designation we would give him right now, because I don't think it's anything official for it, but it's pretty useful. It's like our processor.
I think executive producer.
Our producer. So he's our
executive producer in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So exactly. So he came up with the ideas for what we're going to talk about today, and it's basically based on whatever's been trending. And the first topic is one Edwin Chiloba.
Edwin Chiloba.
So he is a fashion designer. He was openly, I don't know whether I would say gay or queer, because when I heard the news about the whole love triangle, there's even a woman involved. So,
Let's call it gay. And why are you gay? Let's be as blunt as that Uganda interview. It was so blunt. And I love that.
Yeah.
So let's say he was gay.
Yeah. So he was gay. And by the way, this is no hate or anything for the LGBTQ community.
Not whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. But what made this particular thing interesting is that Edwin Chiloba was murdered, and his body, I believe,
was dumped in a box.
Yeah.
I don't know if they call it.
We're gonna see something about him on the screen in a bit.
I don't know if they call it a box in different countries. Here we just call it box because high school.
Technically, it's a chest.
It's a chest.
That's the official word for the thing where that you went to school with.
Why were they so sharp? By the way, those things were like torture devices. Like
on the corners.
Yeah, only the rich kids could afford like luggage and stuff like that. Like,
until
you get a thought and
like suitcases. Like suitcase, who would go to school with a suitcase anyway? But I'm pretty sure there are lots of kids.
Mommy, I'm going to school with my luggage. The private school here. Brayburn.
So, he was allegedly murdered.
How's he murdered, by the way? I saw the pictures, unfortunately, which is...
I'm not sure there's enough information out there that people know how he was murdered. People just know that he was gagged, and somehow his 6-foot frame was fit into a box, the chest we're talking about. It's like...
Funny enough, that was cool. Stories. Like, if you watched the Dahmer documentary on Netflix, he fit a bunch of people into, like, weird things. Amazing how creative people can get, actually. But the crazy part was he looked like he was intact. And there's a story that suggests that he had a fight with his lover.
Yeah.
And then I can imagine it being kind of like almost like is it called a crime of passion if you act in rage, or is it just an emotional crime?
I don't know. I don't know what the legal terminology is. Like, I don't know. Trevor, could you check for us what crime of passion
it could be manslaughter. You know what's crazy is manslaughter sounds worse than homicide or murder.
Though technically manslaughter is like the least, just basically unintentional murder, right?
Exactly.
So it's like a crime of passion in popular usage refers to a violent crime, especially homicide, in which the perpetrator commits the act against someone because of sudden strong impulse, such as anger, rather than as a premeditated crime. So yeah, it may have been a crime of passion because it would seem that it could have been something where
Like a fight.
passion of anger.
But
But also, I heard allegations that his boyfriend, Chiloba's boyfriend or roommate, did this with the help of some other guy.
some caretakers.
So it's also possible it could have been premeditated.
What makes me think it wasn't is just the fact that they went and dumped the body. That's just like a public scene. I imagine if they actually had planned it out, they would have a way to dispose of him. Like, well,
Actually, when I read it in the news, what happened is after the murder, the body actually stayed there for a while in the house because the caretaker, I think people could
Smell.
yeah, they got the whiff of a pungent smell coming from the house, and they told the caretaker there's something weird going on in that house. And then the caretaker went to ask, and the roommate was like, "Oh yeah, it's just like this huge rat that died under the sofa."
How big was the rat?
Yeah, it's like, it's smelling up the whole.
Did the rat have
building.
syphilis? The rat never used to shower. Like,
And then
how
died.
that rat should. That's a dog-sized rat.
That is a freaking, I don't know, ratosaurus. You know, like a rat so big it has to be a dinosaur.
Euphoric.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would fell for that? Like, oh, it must be a rat.
Somehow the caretaker fell for it, right? The caretaker was like, "Oh, okay, I understand." And then the pungent smell continues. And then I remember I was reading this off of some article. It was on BNN.
Yeah.
But at the end, they saw the roommate trying to move out, or they saw him carrying the suitcase or something. Either way, someone saw something suspicious that they now remember, after the suitcase was found and the dead guys. Like, they actually saw this roommate after a week, and the smell was strong, and he was taking the suitcase out, and then, they went and dumped it.
People do some weird things when you think about that. Like, you don't think about it until later you find out it was connected to something deeper. Like,
Yeah.
you see your neighbor moving a ball, something smelling weird, and then later, it gets more, like, graphic.
Which kind of like brings me to like this. Yes, so like the immediate assumption was that this was an LGBTQ thing. There was a hate
It
crime.
was homicide. That's the good.
Exactly.
So everybody that's in homicide.
Someone was sided, right? Either it was your homie
Or your
or it was a homo,
homo erectors.
It's either homicide or a homicide.
But people assume it was the LGBT thing, which I don't
So yeah.
personally think it wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't. That's the thing. It was later revealed, after all, that he was murdered on the guy's own confession by his roommate, who also, was gay or of a different sexual orientation.
I've heard this thing, and I don't know how true it is. Maybe we could look it up. Like that homosexual relationships actually have more incidences of domestic violence.
Yes, and I believe we got like the sources, which by the way we'll link in the description. So there was a study. Can I see the title of the study, Trevor? So it's called "When Intimate Partner Violence Meets Same-Sex Couples: A Review of Same-Sex Intimate Partner Violence." So I'm guessing this is probably like a meta-analysis of various studies.
For those of you who might not know, which I doubt you don't, meta-analysis is an analysis of an analysis, basically. It's like a peer-reviewed study.
Yeah.
Where like
like a bunch of people do studies, and then now you do a study of those studies.
I think we'll be throwing in a few like random, hey, did you know this?
Yeah.
For our viewers. Because
Because
it can also be a ThinkShack at the end of the day.
we might know a thing or two. I mean, we sound dumb, but we might.
Might look dumb as well, but not as dumb as you.
We might actually be dumb, but But anyway, it says,
But if you're watching this, you're very smart.
yes, I agree. So many studies have revealed the existence of IPV, which I believe is an abbreviation for intimate partner violence, among lesbian and gay couples. And its incidence is comparable to some study from 2000 or higher than that among heterosexual couples from some other studies. So
Here's the first thought that comes up.
yeah,
Do you think, and I think we talked about this right before we started shooting,
Mhm.
do you think the fact that there's less or fewer homosexual couples, the few numbers inflate the percentage?
Yes, I believe so. Which, of course, some people might not agree with, but I was thinking about it this way. There are, of course, several more straight couples in the world than there are gay couples or lesbian couples, right?
Fluid now.
Fluid, sexually fluid couples. So, by that reasoning, if you were to do a study and you had you could easily get a sample size of like 10,000 people, 10,000 couples, but if you look for gay couples, because there's so much fewer, you can maybe get 2 gay couples, and then maybe now you get like an IPV rate, intimate partner violence rate, of 1,000 couples per each.
Yeah.
But for one, it's 1,000 out of 2,000, which is 50% violence, and the other one it's 1,000 out of 10,000, which is 10% violence.
So why do you think there seems to be more in same sex? Because you imagine, like, okay, this is the general perception. Gay people can be very soft, docile. And I feel like that's why typically they tend to take, or sympathizers, I don't know if I can say that, tend to take the role of we are being oppressed and that kind of thing. So gay people, they are very passive, or at least they have this, people think they're very passive. So it's crazy to think that the same people who are very passive, you can love who you love, all that, when they get back home, they're ambivalent towards each other.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is one of those. Usually, when I meet such topics, I kind of like get an intuition for what it might be, even without evidence. But I can't, for a minute, think logically why gay couples might be more violent than straight couples. I mean, I could, for example, argue that it's aggression. Like there's a Swahili saying, "Faliwa ule akaisi zimoja," but you have 2 men in the same house. Therefore, any heated debates or arguments or conflicts are going to be that much more heated because it's 2 males. But then again, male gay couples aren't the only gay couples. There are lesbian couples, which you'd probably expect to be more docile. I'd actually like to know what the research shows, like in violence rates, in terms of like what's the difference between lesbian couples and male gay couples. But yeah, I mean, I don't have an intuition for why gay couples might necessarily be more violent. Yeah. But anyway, I think it's an interesting topic to explore. And just the whole assumption that it was an LGBTQ issue and then later on turned out to be a murder issue is interesting enough because, as you might know, on Twitter, it's trending where everybody is mocking the LGBTQ community because none of them are saying, "Oh, sorry, we were wrong," It is actually killed by one of our own, but nobody wants to say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what my stance on that is. I just know that everybody was wrong all along, and it kind of like opened my eyes to how quickly we assume things, and then later on it turns out.
I feel like what is it called? Conformity bias. I think that's it.
Yeah,
something similar like this. It's just the fact that many people believe it. It's like the general wave of thought will float that way.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the other issue we were supposed to talk about was the leaked nudes of one Georgina Njenga. This is Tyler Mbaya's girlfriend. Tyler Mbaya was Baha from Machachari. Yeah. So recently, her nudes got leaked, and they started doing the rounds on Telegram. And naturally, because she's a celebrity, her story landed on Edgar Obare's table, Edgar Obare BNN.
I think one other thing that sensationalized is probably just the initial perception that she was much younger than, she was like a minor during the time of that video.
Yeah, so Edgar Obare reached out to her and she said, sorry, that was actually filmed when I was 17. So, and this guy was blackmailing me, right? And
the crazy thing is that you can actually blackmail a 17-year-old with that kind of stuff. Like the fact that it's possible.
It is. Like, yeah.
What would a normal 17-year-old have that you can hold against her? Oh,
You child, come here, let me manipulate you.
Yeah.
I will get money out. I will take advantage.
I want to take advantage of it. Just a tiny bit, just enough.
Yeah.
Not too much.
It's like, different things get different men off. For some men, what gets them off is manipulating 17-year-olds, ruining their innocence.
But what?
Yeah, send me nudes so I can blackmail you with them later.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. That would be sadistic. Anyway, yeah.
So she said that some guy was blackmailing her, right? And then she even gives the handle. So Edgar goes to the guy, and the guy is like, I'm not blackmailing her. I didn't even leak the nudes. And FYI, this girl sent me a whole bunch of nudes, and she was like, we even did a couple hookups.
Yeah.
And she even did hookups with other guys, and it was even while she was dating Tyler.
Thinking about it psychologically, isn't that like, what is this, character assassination? You know that thing?
It is. But whose character, though? Georgina's, yeah. So,
Like, this lady is this and that. It kind of makes you think, like, don't believe her.
well, yeah, exactly. So, but then on the other hand, she had also accused him, so I'm guessing he was just retaliating, it's like, retaliating in kind.
That's what you do.
But then, anyway, Edgar posts it, and everybody in the whole comment section was up in a row. You and I are both on BNN Premium. So, people are like, oh yeah, this guy's a pedophile. What the hell was he doing getting news from a 17-year-old? And they were crying for blood. And then Edgar Obare was on the hook because everyone was like, why are you even sharing these nudes? This is child porn. I think one person even threatened to, take him to the CID or someone. The DCI, I guess. They literally just rearranged the letters of that. Have you ever noticed? CID.
What does CID mean?
It's like,
I know that's
let's just take the D, put it behind the C, and then it's DCI.
Oh.
That was kind of lazy.
Wait, what did CID mean?
The Criminal Investigation Department. And
but now it's
DCI is literally a kitchen of the department.
No, it's directorate.
Or the directory. Okay.
Directorate of Criminal Investigation.
Okay, yeah, I guess. But still, I mean, the abbreviations there.
Yeah, but I mean...
So everybody was on their case, and then a few sleuths went and checked in her Instagram profile, and they found out that in the video, in the nudes, she had tattoos. She had certain tattoos, right? But if you look at her Instagram profile, she doesn't have those tattoos up until a certain date, and that date is long after when she could possibly have been 17, like she was claiming.
By the way, are tattoos even allowed for people under the age?
Like it's really hard to convince your parents, I would imagine. Yeah.
No, even in the tattoo stores, I wonder if it's legal.
Oh yeah, you need to be over the. I mean,
because I can't imagine a 12-year-old is gonna come to your shop and then was like, I want a tattoo on my boob. Yes, it's like looking at a piece of, look at the wall. There's nothing there, but still,
yeah.
I don't think it would be allowed. So I feel like there's an age limit for, like the age at which you can get tattoos in Kenya at least. I know in the US it's probably 16.
Right. I mean, do they enforce this though? Like, even if there's an age, you want to tell me like a 16-year-old couldn't get a tattoo right now?
Yeah, you're right.
If he wanted it, right? Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's plausible she could have had a tattoo, but like, these sleuths like found out like based off of the dates on the photos and the videos that it wasn't possible. So she was she was those doubt cast on his story, and it just trended. Now, on the one hand, for example, I think that if it can be proven that she was sending these news while she was dating Tyler, then that was cheating, and then at least is newsworthy. But there are also people who think that we should just like let the case rest and leave her alone because people make mistakes.
I just feel like there's a lot more, there's like double standards when it comes to the news and celebrities. Because when it's a guy, you find that there's mocking, all sorts of...
Yeah, like Sammy Boy.
No sympathy or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then when it's a woman,
like those state governors that get caught in like with sex videos. So many politicians
like that
whose leaked sex videos are out there. Yeah, but
I want
they just get
market for these blackmailers. Apart from blackmailers, like honestly, you're gonna want to see a politician, but there is maybe some appeal to it. Like if you think, no, I mean like. It's a public figure, and then you might have questions like...
I can already see the XXX video, the title.
Go to Google, Mwai Kibaki XXX.
politician meets.
Imagine Mikey like with a like, good job, man. Kushike doing. And it's like
Mafia cuckoo.
Kubal.
That would be so weird. That would have been so weird, mad crazy. But anyway, so yeah, that was the Georgina Njenga story. Let's see. The other question was in the same context, yeah, like, does a female's past matter in a relationship?
Absolutely does. And there's this kind of like a meme or running joke, Fifi, that when you go for dowry negotiation, I think this should be made a government policy.
Yeah.
You should be able to go there with what's this thing called, the checkboard? What is that thing?
Checkbook?
No, the thing where you like the thing you put your to-do list on. That board thing. Clipboard.
Clipboard. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wow. You go with a clipboard and then some points there. You're like, let me see your TikTok. Let me see your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What's your body count? You should have a form, and this should be applied to the dowry. Whatever you should. Like
So it's like an application form.
She's on TikTok showing nudes and whatever. Deduct 5,000.
Yeah.
One less goat.
Wow. So but why does a female's past matter to you?
I guess you could say it's mileage. I mean, it's like too many miles. Like the tires are worn and everything. You're gonna need a spare tire soon. You know, and repairs and all that stuff. But then I feel like that's just the general perception. For me, I wouldn't say the past matters all that much. But then I think it's good to know her past. There's this quote that says if we can predict our future by looking at our past.
Yeah.
So if you look at her past, you can see how it's gonna go with you. So I think it's just almost like background, doing a background check on a potential employee, things like that. It's just kind of like, what is the experience gonna be? If you look at her past, it was like this. What do you think she might be based off of that? That's why it matters. For me, I would say probably like I lean towards.
Okay, but here's an interesting question in the same line. Do you think a man's past
absolutely, I think so.
As much? Like, do you think a woman should care equally well about a man's past?
I don't think so. I feel like men, we're slow to develop. That whole thing they say girls mature faster than guys, it's very generally true. Like, and even in the negative sense, you find how many 16-year-old girls or 13 to 16-year-old girls are engaging in sex compared to boys.
Yeah.
Much later.
Several more.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then at the end of the day, when we reach, I think, critical mass in terms of maturing, I think past 25, your kind of adult identity has been shaped already.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to 25, a man is kind of like waking up and is like, oh, I need to start changing. I
need to get my life together.
Very aggressive steps and leaps and bounds and that kind of thing. So a man can undergo rapid development, and do a full 180.
Yeah,
regardless
in a couple of years,
regardless of his past. But then ladies, for them, they mature early, but then I guess slowly as well. So they don't change all that much over the years. But a man can change like that. So I feel like a man's past matters less than that of a woman's.
Wow. Yeah. I guess that's an interesting perspective. Personally, I think it, for most men, it just boils down to, oh yeah, we have a study here. What's the title of the study? So the chasing Amy bias in past sexual experiences. So men can change, women cannot. Let me see the text at the bottom. Just scroll down.
Can change, women cannot.
Yeah. So in sum, women seem accepting of lifestyle changes in men, whereas men fixate on women's previous experiences in spite of shifts towards monogamy. So yeah, so it could be a biological thing, biologically motivated thing. I think generally because also, I mean, for a man who's just trying to, from a biological perspective, spread his seed, right? He's selfish. He does not want a woman who has borne the seeds of other men because he's selfish. He only wants his genes to get passed on. So he cares more about a woman's past, and he wants to know that there were as few men as possible in her past. And I guess for a woman, on the other hand, since mostly her main concern is that if I get pregnant or if I have offspring, that they will be taken care of, she cares more about the implied security of being with a man, so she cares more about a man's future. Right.
Interesting. Very.
So we're good on that. Let's see. So finally, we're supposed to talk about two things. I think one of which we may not be able to do. One is, oh yeah, so what would you do in Bahati's position? Oh, okay, yeah. So what would you do in Bahati's position?
This is my ex?
Is it Bahati or Baha? I feel like
Whichever.
confusing him with the gospel artist. He's not Bahati, he's Baha.
But they're both,
Silent Baha.
they share one characters and they're both very lambistic. Right. I don't understand man. That's true.
They're both very lambistic.
What's for you? Oh, yeah, I was lambistic. And he always has this look on his face, it's like he's hesitating.
Yeah, I know.
He has this weird shit.
He has this weird facial expression. It's like,
He probably takes coke.
why?
I don't really do this twitch and just like, and we look at it. Yeah, it's not. It's like he's
Surveying.
surveying the demon.
Before he throws them at you.
And then the terms he comes up with, Kafukusui. Kinolea. What do you think Kinolea is based on? Like a real person?
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
Probably knew like, this young kid, well, Kinolea. Probably Kinolea stole his girl. And Kinolea had a Ben 10 or something like that.
But it only sounds like, like it just sounds like a Brian in it's like a queer version of Brian, the typical guy.
Yeah. Anyways,
So yeah, I mean that's basically that. So you're saying they're both lambistic, but as Bahati or as Baha, would you stay with Georgina?
are they together?
Walk?
I thought they were exes.
No, they're still together.
Together.
They're still together.
If my ex's news came out in public and I was with her, no, yeah, no, I don't know. Why am I saying ex? I don't know. If my girl's news came out in public and I was with her, that's a tough one. But what was was there any like allegation that she was sending these to while he didn't know?
Yeah, like
No, that would
may have been sending them while they were dating.
That would definitely make me question her character. That would make things very weird. So I think it would be very hard to stay with her during the time. I honestly would walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's a lot to deal with. Because the thing with being a celebrity is whoever you're associating with, whatever happens to them, you get tied to that publicity, that press.
Yeah.
So you might as well remove yourself from that kind of press before people actually start thinking, oh, maybe Baha himself has news. And if they go investigating, of course they'll find something.
Yeah, exactly.
He messed up, sent some things that you probably shouldn't have sent to randoms. And probably someone has dirt on you. So the sooner you detach yourself from them publicly, other people are like, oh, they broke up.
Yeah.
So you kind of exit the story. It's kind of selfish.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, these are things that put doubts in your mind anyway.
Yeah.
What would you do?
For me, I think it ultimately boils down to whether he knew about this whole thing before it went public or not. Like, if when they met, she told him, hey, I've sent news to someone in the past. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's okay. I'll still date you. I don't mind that. What?
Would people do that, like, in general? Like, a girl would be like, hey, nice to meet you. I've sent some news to guys in the past.
I hope you don't mind. If you do, please let me know so I can exit left, Yeah. But, I mean, in the course of conversation, you usually talk about, like, your past with your girl when you first meet. Like, hey, who have you dated before? What have you done? And if there's anything significant, and how have you done it? Exactly. And if there's anything significant, you should, like bring it up during these conversations. Hey, by the way, I kind of like, I don't know, aborted so a while back. I don't know that.
Maybe once or twice or 3 times.
I don't know if people reveal that. Or like,
probably don't. I don't think people are that forthcoming.
Like, yeah, hey, it's nice to meet you. I like you. I just want you to know that I'm aborted twice now.
Hey.
So it's like, it's kind of weird. But assuming...
And they say, like, you'd wait. Yeah. I might abort you too. A woman can tell you everything, anything. And then be like, oh, okay, no problem. It's okay, no problem, you come. I replace.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if he knew these things before and then it just goes public, it's okay because he made a choice. Like it doesn't hit him by surprise.
Yeah.
But if I were him and I got to know about this stuff at the same time as the public, that was a personal betrayal. I would exit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sending news. I feel like I don't know if I want to get famous because a lot of people have my nudes. So I have to stay off of female.
But it's so much easier for a guy though, because like, how are they gonna be able to tell that this is Jean's dick?
If worst comes to worst, no, I'm a porn star, man. Like when you send you just put your face, you send to loose, you make faces, you're like, oh.
You have your faith in those nudes.
Yeah, man, I'm an actor. Only thing I'm like, it doesn't have a. So you know, like when you get confident or something like that, when you're talking with a girl, you know, like,
Yeah.
what? She likes me because of ABCD. Maybe it's my eyes, my smile, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, let me put everything. Let me lay it all out there.
Like,
Even the cozy, like,
please admire everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But you know, I don't know why I'm not so scared of the repercussions. I think.
I feel like I mean I feel like it kind of depends on like market yourself. If you brand yourself as the kind of person like, yeah, I'm cool. If you see my news out there,
Yeah.
then probably nobody would care. I mean, it's just kind of like right now, and not to name a different celebrity, if you found out that Huda Monroe's nudes were leaked, it wouldn't be news because it's like she brands herself as the kind of person who doesn't care.
She calls herself a principal or something like that.
Yeah, does she call herself or do people call her that? Yeah, so basically that kind of thing.
Put them on hold.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I kind of feel like we are at the end of time, so we should probably wrap it off here. We won't be able to finish the rest. We would have done a meme review, but we can try this next time.
We can do a meme review though. How about we? Oh no, we can't do it. Right? Can we? No.
I don't know. It can be like I don't know. I mean, I really don't even have any memes, even though I love memes. You know, my WhatsApp is just full of memes.
You are a nobody. You are a non-entity. You are a nothing. Wewe si kitu.
Ukiwa mlevi alafu wajua place fulani ajaribu kukuletea ufara juu ako na rungu na ini.
Oh my goodness, man, entity. Man, how would you feel if someone called you a non-entity? Wow, I don't know how to feel about that.
Like, you disrespected me in the most educated way possible. That's the problem. This disrespect, that's going to too much school, you know.
But wait, is that a real clip or is from
I think it's a clip from like a show.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was from a real like Kenyan interaction.
Let's do the next one.
It has so much venom. What is it cute to? Look at that, look at that. Great actor.
Now I can say Okay, so the caption for this is after Kusmash and Adem, then Aulize, what you think about what just happened? And then you say,
now I can say
what is he saying?
It's not like he's on cocaine.
She's the farted. Oh, yes.
It's probably mad.
Portuguese.
We know the guys look good on camera and all that stuff because they're in the public eye, but they're probably like goofy people. I feel like they might be very quirky, very nerdy, very
Oh yeah, like those.
geeky as that. What is he saying?
I think he's just struggling with English.
Wait a minute. Just wait a damn second here.
Let's see the caption. Where is he? Oh, what's there? Jump to church usiku unaona anything alafu moja sema wewe tumdishi tu.
Wait a minute. Just wait a damn second here.
Wait. That is so elaborate though. That is the way Koreans. How do you think of that? That's from trauma.
I do not think I have ever once been to
That you never
where a bunch of bandits,
find you the toilet.
after being unable to rob me, thought, yeah, let's just fuck you up. Like, I've never in my life, and I have met bandits, I assure you, I have met bandits. People have tried to rob,
I'm like, let's just fuck you. Let's just fuck him and go.
but never before.
They said if it was an option, like pre-planned, like in case you don't have the money, you just pop it. And that's it.
A Kenyan men to their girls wakienda kulala, alafu au mademo wakaribia ati kukado.
So in that position, I just have to smash it because there's no way I can just tap it.
Well, this one is probably gonna be called misogynistic, but yeah. So basically, I could not resist the temptation. Okay, I think that's gonna have to be it for me review today. So
That was fun. That was fun.
it was nice interacting with you guys.
I feel like this might actually be the one we post. This was a good one.
Yeah, I really liked it.
But you guys let us know. Like, we don't want to toot our own horns.
Yeah,
We're not funny like that.
we are not at all. So yeah, until next time, guys. Cheers. See you on the ThinkShack.
Nice. That was lit.